There we go, switcheroo. We have a little bad switch going on. The little 1-2 part of it is kind of blown out, not clicking. So let's go ahead and switch this out. No pun intended. But it's not a big, really hard job. This is the ones that just have a screw there. Some have that little Torx screw and some screw from the bottom. And it just depends on the time and age of your base and everything. This is a 2 switch that I assembled out of parts, and yeah, it looks pretty nice. It has a stainless steel heating element and an aftermarket flange under it. But let's check this. The switch is a little, it doesn't want to pop out, but I can see the problem. So, sometimes you just got to kind of wiggle them a little and work them out. This one's a little bit stubborn, but we'll get it out. There's those 4 little tabs, and I kind of push 2 down and try to get one side out just enough, and then I kind of wiggle the other one, and you'll get it out. Let's see what's going on with this. When I first assembled this machine, it kept flipping the breaker, and I kept checking everything, and then it started working really good, and all of a sudden that bottom switch went out. So we'll see what was going on. And it was maybe a little bit of a faulty switch all along. Come on out of there. I'm just showing you, if you have trouble bringing it out, it's not uncommon. And yeah, sometimes they pop right out like a dream, and other times you're kind of weird. There we go. So sometimes you can just slide it all the way out and switch all the wires and pop it in. And that's an easy way so you don't mix up the wires. But this one, I'm just going to pull the wires out because I see the problem. There's a little bit of a failure with the bridge on the switch and everything. So let's check this out. There it is. It's all burnt up. So I don't know if it's because that burnt up, but the bottom switch stopped working. So that's what happened for some reason. But it's out, so we're going to put a new switch in. And this one isn't a new one. I had it from another machine, but it just wasn't really going in good. It was kind of wiggly, and I realized that the little clips are off of this one because the machine had been powder coated and the base was a little tight, so I think I had to work them in that way. But anyway, I can't remember. But I get another one I have. It already has a bridge made for it. It's pretty good shape, clicking well. So we'll pop that one in. It's a simple procedure. And its little tabs are really good, so it's going to click in well. I always push it by the little frame, and boom, it's in. Now we just have to hook the wires back up. And I'll go check my schematic. Sometimes I take a fresh picture, but I have a couple schematic pictures I keep around for this, but since I moved them around. And we're going to find out a little issue too, just like we always do. There's always something going on. So I'll go check my schematic and we'll get this baby going. And now the grounding wire usually has a little post that goes on, but that was broken off of this base. So what I do is I set it up so the screw that holds the plastic bottom in makes the ground there. It's one way. Is it the perfect? I don't know, but it works all right here. And we'll go ahead and check. We'll get the wires on. Make sure they're all in everywhere, because I had that one time the one wire was loose. And yeah, it looks pretty good. There we go. Even though one of them, we're going to find out in a minute, a couple are backwards, because I wasn't paying attention. There was the old one, that thing burnt up. That's ready for the trash. And there we go. I don't know yet that the wires are wrong, but we're going to find out. And of course, I had it unplugged all through all of this. And we'll plug her in. Let's see if the switch works. And it did, but you know what? I realized, not yet, but I put the bottom on, it lit up. I thought everything was good. Water's in it, so let's give it a test run. The light comes on. Can't really see it with the sunlight, but yeah, it's on. We'll go ahead and see. Now, I waited quite a bit. It really didn't heat up because I have the wires wrong. And actually, if you pushed it backwards onto 1, it would heat like it was 2, and things like that. So if you have it where it's not working right, just check it. There's going to be a wire perhaps, missing, or not missing, but placed on the wrong terminal, switched around. It's easy enough to do, especially if you're doing that white switch to the black switch. The 2 of the wires are opposite for some reason, but there we go. So I redid the wire right. You got to look at your own wiring. That's just the way it is. I'm not an electrician. I'm not going to set you up with how to do the wiring. You got to figure that out and do it safely on your own. Just unplug everything and look at it again. I should have double checked this. Well, that's a lesson learned. So we have it back together. The wires were flipped back around, the front to back, and there we're going. Now we're going to plug this back in. Let's see if we had success. Yeah, the light's on, so that's successful. There's water in it, and let's just go right ahead. And we'll see if this baby's going to heat up this time correctly. And yeah, there it goes. It heats up on 2. Everything's back to normal. Not too bad at all. We'll go ahead and do a test shot just like we do. Might as well. You got everything working. A little wipe down. Everything looks good. Got our tray back. We have a pre-done portafilter. Now, actually, I tamped this a tiny. You'll see why. It probably tamped a tiny bit too much, but not really. And there we go. We have her back down into 1. We're going to use the classic 2 spout and just a nice little espresso cup, not really a latte. And we'll go ahead and pop it up. We'll wait for the little drip, or a certain amount of time. If you don't see a drip and you feel it's been long enough, let's give her a little pull down. We'll probably start dripping right away, and you'll be all good. And this one is, like I said, I think I tamped it just a tiny bit harder than I usually do, but it still didn't make any difference. And there we go. Let's go ahead and bring this down. And we're going to get just 1 spout right by the handle. It's funny how it does that, but sometimes it does 2 perfectly, and sometimes the other side, but a majority of the time, the single spout comes out towards the handle for some reason. I'm sure someone can do a big study on that and figure out why, but I don't think it really matters. So a little stiff on the pull, not bad. Like I say, it's probably just a tad over tamped for me. But it's not going to change the shot or anything. And it's such a minute amount, it really isn't going to matter. And we're just using the medium roasted beans, just a commercial bulk bean, and it's been going really good. I've used a lot of different beans, Kona, many specialty beans. And you know what? These aren't too bad. And they're better than a lot of those fancy beans. I hate to say it, but maybe I don't hate to. But there we are. Check it out. Beautiful again, working back. The red machine's back in there, and good news for the redhead. And all right, subscribe. And that's it for this time.